So the Rookie of the Year was given in the WNBA, and it was given to Paige Bueckers.
Paige Bueckers just had one of the greatest rookie games ever. Not only did she score 44 points, but she was 81% from the field.
The WNBA Rookie of the Year race just delivered a jaw-dropping twist. And trust me, no one saw it ending like this. Paige Bueckers, yes, the UConn superstar who's been doubted, questioned, and at times overlooked, just walked away with the Rookie of the Year trophy. And the reaction? Explosive. Fans are split right down the middle. Some are celebrating like it's the second coming of Diana Taurasi.
Do you punish Paige because her team was terrible? Or do you reward Sonia Citron because she stepped up big time in fourth quarters? Or do you reward Paige for being the best first through third quarter player, being all first team, if she would have been all WNBA first team if games ended after the third quarters?
Others are absolutely fuming, convinced Sonia Citron or even Kiki should have walked away with the crown. This wasn't just a normal award announcement, this was a full-blown storm. On one side, Paige's supporters are victory lapping every critic who said she couldn't carry her talent into the pros. On the other, Citron's backers are demanding answers, pointing at her clutch fourth quarter heroics and wondering how in the world the voters ignored them. And here's where it gets messy. This wasn't a clean sweep. Votes were scattered, narratives clashed, and what should have been a celebration of rookies turned into another debate about favoritism, stat sheets, and team records.
It's a Rookie of the Year race that I thought was really close, so I'm glad I'm not a voter. My vote probably would have gone to Paige, so I'm not going to say at this stage. I think I would have had Sonia for a lot of the year. I would have had Kiki at the start of the year, and I think Paige took over, and then around mid-August it looked like Sonia was going to take over, and then Paige had that 44-point game, and albeit she had a couple of rough games afterwards.
So tonight, we're breaking it all down. The numbers, the narratives, the politics behind the votes, and we're asking the only question that matters. Did the voters get it right, or did the WNBA just hand Paige Bueckers a crown she didn't fully earn? But before we get into it, smash that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to Her Hoops for the real stories the league doesn't want you to hear. From the very start of the season, the Rookie of the Year race was chaos. Kiki Iriafen came out swinging, looking like the early favorite with her inside dominance and flashes of star power.
She still was pretty good. She was still pretty good down the year. So yeah, no real issue with this. The Paige fans are victory lapping my Sonia Citron Rookie of the Year take from a month ago because of what team records. 14 and 27 team always disappeared for the whole game, then won several key goals in the fourth quarter. Look, I don't mind it too much. I think the voting, the fact it wasn't unanimous, is probably a good thing as well. Citron at least got 2 votes. I'm surprised Kiki didn't get a vote.
Sonia Citron, meanwhile, carved out her reputation as the closer, the player who thrived when the game was on the line, delivering fourth-quarter shots that kept the Washington Mystics relevant even as their season spiraled. And then there was Paige Bueckers, smooth, efficient, and absolutely deadly from the opening tip to the third-quarter buzzer, but constantly battling the question, was she putting up empty numbers on a struggling Dallas Wings squad, or was she the most complete rookie in the league? This wasn't a one-player runaway. It was a tug-of-war all season long. At one point, it looked like Kiki had the crown. Mid-season, Paige surged.
Paige Bueckers did not put Paige Bueckers on their MVP ballot. So not Paige Bueckers, Sonia Citron. If you have Paige Bueckers on your MVP ballot, I think it's dumb. But if you put Sonia Citron on your MVP ballot, it's real dumb. Like, you can go pure counting stats and make the argument for Paige Bueckers. You can't even make the counting stats argument for Sonia Citron.
When the ballots came in, the message was clear. The voters believed Paige Bueckers had done just enough to separate herself. And let's be honest, her resume was hard to ignore. She led all rookies in scoring, racked up assists like a veteran point guard, and even delivered efficiency numbers that stacked up with established all-stars. That 44-point explosion against the Liberty, it didn't just turn heads, it single-handedly reshaped the narrative of the race. From that moment on, Paige wasn't just in the conversation. She was the conversation. But here's where it gets messy. Sonia Citron didn't just disappear. She had arguably the most impactful clutch performances of any rookie this year. Time and time again, while the Mystics collapsed, Citron was the only one keeping them afloat.
I don't mind it. I think that 44-point game and a 27-point game was against the Valks, where she had a 27-point game, 27-point game and an L. And then that last game of the season, for me, meant that I probably would be leaning towards Paige at the end of the year.
She didn't have the gaudy box scores that Paige put up, but she had moments that screamed value. Yet voters leaned toward volume, toward the box score dominance Paige brought across full game. And then there's Kiki. Early momentum, flashes of brilliance, but when it mattered most, she faded into the background. By August, it wasn't a three-way race anymore. It was Paige versus Citron, consistency versus clutch, and the voters sided with consistency. Some fans will argue this was about name recognition, that Paige's UConn legacy and media spotlight gave her an edge Citron could never match.
It was the second most efficient 40-point game in WNBA history with 93% true shooting. Ironically, the first belongs to Kelsey Plum, who not only got to keep her record, but spoiled Paige's career night by hitting the game winner. And Paige wasn't just scoring layups, she was hitting tough bucket. No rookie in WNBA history has ever scored more than 40. And Paige's 44 points in a single game puts her at number 10 on the all-time list.
Others point to the raw numbers. Paige simply put up more, played more minutes, and carried a heavier load. Both sides have a case, and that's why the discourse hasn't stopped since the announcement dropped. In the end, the voters crowned Paige, but the backlash? That's where the real story begins. The Rookie of the Year announcement should have been a celebration of young talent, but instead, it lit a firestorm. Paige Bueckers hoisted the trophy, and suddenly social media turned into a battleground. Her fans came out swinging, flooding timelines with "told you so" posts, dragging anyone who doubted her, and even quote-tweeting old takes just to victory lap. And honestly, they had receipts. Paige had been steady all season. She had the signature moments, and her efficiency spoke volume. But Citron's camp wasn't staying quiet. They pushed back hard, pointing to the Mystics' 10-game losing streak to close the season.
I really think I would. I think you can make the argument, and by the way, I don't think there's any argument to be made that Sonia Citron's better at basketball than Paige Bueckers right now. She is 2 years younger, so could year 3 Sonia Citron be better than year 1 Paige? Yes. At the same age, like when Sonia's Paige's age, could she be better? Yeah. Would you trade Sonia Citron for Paige Bueckers if you are the Dallas Wings? Because of these rookie deals right now, because of the way the rookie deals are structured, and this is the last year of the cheap rookie deals.
And if it's about early dominance, Kiki deserved more recognition than she got. The truth? The criteria shifts year by year, depending on the narrative the league wants to sell. And fans noticed. Threads, debates, even YouTube breakdowns all started hammering the same question. What exactly does Rookie of the Year mean anymore? Is it box scores? Is it leadership? Or is it just whoever the media has hyped up the most? That's why this wasn't just a trophy presentation. It was a referendum, a statement about how the WNBA values rookies, how much weight they give to marketability versus grit, and why every award season seems to leave one side feeling cheated.
You're going to have to give her that. She's going to be younger when you're going to have to give her the big contract, and she won't be as good as Paige likely on the rookie deal. So for me, on those rookie deals, Paige Bueckers is more valuable because she's better right now, and it's not necessarily about the long-term upside. But if it wasn't for this weird CBA and weird contract situation, I strongly would consider.
To understand why Paige Bueckers walked away with Rookie of the Year, you have to dig past the headlines and into the numbers. Paige led all rookies in scoring, averaging just over 19 points a night, while also chipping in 5 assists and nearly 5 rebounds. Her shooting splits? Efficient enough to make veteran guards jealous, hovering around 45% from the field and 37% from deep. Add in her poise and ability to control the game from the opening tip, and it's no surprise voters leaned her way. She looked less like a rookie, more like an all-star in waiting. But then there's Sonia Citron. On paper, her averages don't scream dominance. Roughly 14 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. What they don't show is her fourth quarter mastery.
I think the Mystics are happy with Sonia. I think the Wings are happy with Paige. And I think the media, I'm not going to say they got it wrong, because I don't think they did. I think it's good that Citron got a vote. Had 2 votes. I think Paige deserved Rookie of the Year, not in a absolute complete landslide like it ended up being, but I still think she deserved Rookie of the Year. I'm not gonna go and say that that it was a robbery, even if my take up until 2 games to go was Sonia Citron. It was a close one. The race, in my opinion, went Kiki's winning at the start of the year, For me, it was Kiki first, Salon second.
That choice isn't inherently wrong. Paige was phenomenal, but it highlights the league's ongoing struggle to balance hype with substance. For fans, this result feeds into a growing frustration. They've seen this pattern before. Awards that feel tied to narratives rather than pure merit. Citron carried the Mystics when no one else would, and Kiki set the tone early in the year, but the spotlight still landed on Paige. Why? Because her brand travels. She's a Yukon legend, she's a household name, and she's easier to package as the face of a new rookie class. That creates excitement, but it also risks alienating fans who feel the league overlooks grinders like Citron in favor of headliners. There's also a business angle. Paige winning strengthens the league's marketing machine. Endorsements, jersey sales, TV highlights, they all spike when a recognizable star holds the hardware. The WNBA knows this, but if every close race tilts toward the most marketable player, fans will start asking whether awards reflect performance or promotion. That's a dangerous perception problem for a league that insists it wants to be taken seriously. And then there's the locker room impact. Players notice these things. Rookies like Citron and Kiki now have fuel, a chip on their shoulder heading into next season. That chip can either spark rivalries that make the league must watch, or it can fester into resentment about how much the name game matters. Either way, the WNBA just set the stage for even more tension among the league's young stars. At the end of the day, Paige's Rookie of the Year isn't just about her. It's about how the WNBA defines greatness, what kind of stories it wants to tell, and whether fans buy into the narrative. And right now, plenty of them aren't buying it. So here we are. Paige Bueckers is officially your Rookie of the Year. On paper, it makes sense. On highlight reels, it makes sense. But deep down, you know this wasn't a clean sweep. This was a fight, one that left Sonia Citron's supporters bitter, Kiki Iriofen's fans wondering what could have been, and the rest of us questioning what the award really represents. Is Rookie of the Year about stats, about leadership, about who you trust when the game is on the line? Or is it just about who sells jerseys and fills headlines? That's the uncomfortable truth the WNBA now has to confront.
With Citron not winning any other games, I think Paige probably got it in the end. Like, it's a race. It is a race to see who's winning, and I think over the course of the year, there was a clear big three rookies that were all all-stars, and I think the media got the order right, even if I didn't think it was as lopsided in favor of Paige as they gave it. But that's the thing when races happen.
So buckle up, because this rookie class isn't done. In fact, the real story might just be starting. And now, I want to hear from you. Did the voters get it right with Paige Bueckers? Or was Sonia Citron robbed of what should have been her moment? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Smash that like button if you love this kind of WNBA drama. And don't forget to subscribe for more breakdowns right here on Her Hoops. This debate is far from over, and that's exactly why we love this game.